So I want to start with the story. See this picture? This is a story about Emma and Grace. Emma's the nurse, and Grace is the patient. Emma is a dedicated nurse, and I know, are there some nurses out here in our audience? Nurse there, look around. I know you can relate to this. She's a dedicated nurse, but she also realizes that her calling is much more than just helping the physical needs of the patients, and that big part of her job is to show up with compassion and kindness, gentleness. I'm looking at all you nurses, big, going like this right now. Yeah. One day, Emma meets Grace, and Grace had been admitted to the hospital with a terminal illness. She's only in her 60s. But Emma could kind of pick up the feeling that Grace was very lonely and very full of hopelessness. So as Emma spent time with Grace, going in her room and checking her vitals, and then having time when she could have time, she would sit with her. And she would spend time just letting Grace tell her about her life. And she found out that her husband had died quite a few years ago. They had no children. She had no family to speak of. And so she was really pondering this darkness and pondering about mortality. And so Emma felt that in her, and so she would spend time and let Grace talk about her life, and then eventually Emma starts talking about her life. She now is bringing Grace her favorite books that she used to like to read. Emma even found out that she could sign her up to have a therapy dog come into the room, which then started to bring her some brightness. And surely enough, Grace starts to revive some energy. And she decides that she does have worth. And so she starts a letter writing ministry on the terminal floor in the hospital, and starts writing hopeful letters to all the patients on that floor. And it rejuvenated her and gave her a purpose, even though she was still facing, a terminal illness. And surely, inspired by Emma's kindness, Grace spent her remaining days with a purpose in helping others, in shining light to others as Emma had been shining light to Grace. And as Grace's health declined, Emma remained by her side, providing medical care and emotional support. And in her final moments, Grace held Emma's hand and thanked her for being the light that guided her through the darkness. With a peaceful smile on her face, Grace passed away. She made her transition, but knowing her life had been filled with some purpose. Emma's story powerfully reminds us of one person's impact on another's life. By offering compassion, support, and understanding, we can help others find strength and resilience to face even the most challenging examples. I know that we all know this, but it's always good to hear heartwarming stories, isn't it? Every day I turn my news app on, and before it spins a little bit, I'm like, oh, please be a heartwarming story. Someday that's going to show up as the first story, right? Be the light in someone's darkness, for your presence and compassion can reignite their hope and their purpose. Be the light in someone's darkness. Look at what I titled this today. You are a star. Every one of you are a star. Seriously. Seriously. You are a star. Let's look at that next slide there. And feel free to take pictures. If anything hits you, take pictures of this. You do not become a star. You are born a star. A star is born with the indefinable extra something. Star is born just like the drop in the ocean, right? I mean, I love that analogy in your meditation. So a star, are you really a star? Well, let's look at this next video and see that science is proving you are. We
think the universe formed about 13 to 14 billion years ago through a big bang. And back then, there was only really hydrogen, helium, and lithium. And those gases clumped together to start making the first stars. And then we had nuclear reactions within those stars that started to generate heavier and heavier elements. And some of those stars got really big and exploded as supernovas. And all those elements got ejected out into space. And that's what seeded the next generation of stars and started to help us make planets. And so things like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, potassium, all those really important elements that we need to start making things like life were all formed by stars. And so yes, we are made of stardust. And a really interesting fact is that any element heavier than iron in your body has been through at least one supernova.
You've been through a supernova. You are made of star stuff. I know. We are made of star stuff. Our bodies are made of star stuff. There are pieces of star within each and every one of you. Can you grasp that? That there are pieces of star within all of us. You know, this whole title came from, we were studying the book Fear Not. We had a class going on for 4 weeks. And one of the chapters, very short chapter, was titled, You Are a Star. And that class was, our first thing was, right. But I'm going to just read this to you. Every time a child comes into the world, it is as though he or she has been waiting in the wings, ready to take its place center stage, to play their starring role in the production that they will call their life. Have you found your starring role, or do you feel as though you are still waiting in the wings? When Jesus came into the world, a star was born. When you came into the world, a star was born. Jesus knew his role. You may know your role, or you may still be searching for your role, searching for purpose and meaning. What is a star? A light giver. A light giver. Not everyone can be a star in the theatrical production, but everyone can be a star in his or own sphere. Everyone can be a light giver. You know, and in this chapter here, it talked about, I am not much. My life is not much. Anybody feel like that ever? What's the meaning? What do I have to give? And I know there are some of you that have felt that way. There have been times in my life when I felt like, what do I have to give anybody? But once I really identified with what I'm talking to you about today, I might not have put it in these words, but this chapter brought it to me that I knew I was a child of God. I knew that. And so it's the same thing. I know I'm a star without being a star, right? I knew that I was a star, that I was this brilliant light. How did I know that? Because I went to my baby pictures. I did seminars, I did counseling for years and years, many seminars. And one of these seminars encouraged me to go find my baby pictures and even older. So I found my baby picture. Well, it was not the baby. I was probably less than 2 years old. And I can remember seeing my eyes in this picture like, what's next? And if you can find that, I found in my first grade picture, I still had that spark of light. But by fourth grade, the picture changed. We forget. By well-meaning teachers, parents, religious leaders, we start to forget that brilliant light that we are. So I tell you in this book, in this brief chapter, which is only like 3 pages, goes on to say, Christ in us, our hope of glory, the fulfillment of our true destiny. When we realize that Christ is in us, we are reborn into a new realization. I know that almost every week you hear something of this effect to remind us that you are a child of God. I know it might sound like, oh, here she goes again, right? But I tell you, because you will go out there today and something will happen and it will make you forget, even if it's just for a second. We forget. We're in this human earth school, right? And so in there, that's why I think I'm telling myself, I need to keep reminding myself of this. If Christ is in us, our hope of glory, if we are expressions of Christ in the world, our purpose and our roles are clear. We are to express the Christ, to bring Christ into the world of thought, action, and in the world around us. I want to look at that next one. The word Christ comes from the Greek word Christos. That word means the anointed one or the chosen one. You've heard me say many times, Christ was not Jesus' last name. It was not his name until he got older. And then it became when they realized that this boy who was in the synagogues at 12 and 13, 14 years old and teaching the master teachers in the synagogue, they knew he was the anointed one. And therefore then became Jesus Christ, Jesus the Christ. Now, if we believe that Christ, that anointed one, is in each and every one of us, if you can even grasp that concept that you are part of the anointed one, when you can grab that, then maybe you can see that the Christ in me, the anointed in me, is the light. So I'm going to change this to the anointed me. The anointed in me is peace. The anointed in me is love. The anointed one in me is life. Just something to think about. This may not fit for you, and it's okay. But if you can even take some of this on, of the power you are as a light bearer, as a star in this world. Let's look at advice from a star. Set a shining example. Make a wish. Keep looking up. Have a stellar attitude. Keep a twinkle in your eye. Stay full of wonder. Be out of this world. Be out of this world. I'm stepping away for a minute because sometimes I think these are old concepts for some of you, and for some of you, these are new concepts. And sometimes it's a little difficult on Sundays to try and hit all realms of this collective consciousness that we have here in this church. And I got to tell you, one of the things that Beth, our platform assistant today, said to me as we were meeting in the lobby to come in here, she said, "Isn't God just amazing? All these different aspects of people coming together as one. And all of them are pieces of God. All of them are God. In other words, all of them are anointed ones. And we come together in a melting pot and we celebrate our oneness here on Sundays. Isn't that a beautiful thing? And the music always supports that message to remind us how beautiful we are, how beautiful your smile is, as Marcy sang. Smile, even though it's breaking, smile. Oh gosh, I can't believe I'm lost for the words now. I usually could sing the whole song because I want this sung when I transition. That little bit of smile, even when you're down, even when anybody ever have this where, you kind of get a little bit knocked down, and then something else hits you, and something else hits you. Car problems, rent problems, doctor problems, checkbook problems, right? And you think, I can't take anymore. Our job as light bearers, our job as stars, that's why we come together, because we never know who needs that smile, do we? I look at Marcy and Yvette, I can't help it. Talk about two bright stars. Life is not always easy for them. I have not talked to Yvette to even begin to find out what it was like for her to come to this country and study. I can't even imagine what that was like for you. And to stay in some kind of light, because at times there was darkness. Marcy, same thing. Big light for all these kids. You've heard her talk before. And what she finds, she's found her purpose in life. And that is to be the star in people's lives. But yet, Marcy's not headed easy. And she's having a real rough go of it right now. But you wouldn't know it, would you? She surrounds herself with a lot of stars. It's true. And she knows how to go find those stars when things have gotten dark. And so I want you to just realize this melting pot. Just look around you at this melting pot of different faces. Look different, but yet we're same and different. Let's watch the wisdom of this 96-year-old woman.
The wonder of being in a body. To know that we are each other, that we're the same. We're made of all the same stuff. Scientific words, neurons, protons, cells, molecules. We're part of the whole thing. We're little bits of stars. We're dust. It's like we're the great kaleidoscope, all little pieces, but every time you turn it, it's different. So you and I are exactly made up of exactly the same stuff, but every one is unique. There's only one in all the world. And the same with every petal of a pansy. Everywhere I look, I see another little version of myself. If there were a person in every little section, that would be another version of myself. All made of the same stuff, but put together differently. Same. You and I are same, and different. Same, and different. I'm the same as the tree, and different. I'm the same as the garbage heap over there, the compost pile. I am definitely part of the compost pile on my way out. I'm the star thistle, and the grass, and the dirt,
and the black ant climbing the mile-high hill.
I am you. You are me. We're the same. Same, different. The wonder.
Same, different. Do you love how she loves that she's the same as the garbage, the compost pile? Oh. Tony, can we go back to that slide, before the video? There, that one. I will love the light, for it shows me the way. Yet I will love the darkness, for it shows me the stars. Isn't that a beautiful one? Has anybody ever gone out when complete darkness without the street lights? Whether you have to go, I don't know where you have to go to find that, but have you ever done that? Just so you could really take in the stars. So in that darkness, and I look at some of you out there who have experienced extreme darkness at times. But in this chapter in the book, it talks about even one little bitty candle can ignite light into a completely dark room. You can take one of those smallest little tea lights and go completely in a closet, completely dark room, turn that on, and if you sit there long enough, it illuminates the whole room, doesn't it? There's some light. There's always some light. And I've watched you all go through many of this. I've watched myself go through this. There's a song that I absolutely love, and when I have a moment of anxiousness, when maybe I've been on the phone with someone who's experienced some really heavy darkness, and I remind myself of this song. And it's Look for the Good by Jason Mraz. And it's just, to me, people done gone crazy, people done gone mad, people done forgot the superpowers we all have. We are born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate. Look for the good in everyone and celebrate our mistakes. There's a silver lining. You still have to find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It almost seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Same, different. Same, different. Look at somebody next to you, or forward, behind you, whatever you got to do. Same, different. Same, different. Same. Come on, have some fun with this. Different. Don't be shy. This is your church family, for goodness sakes. I almost said for God's sake. Same, different. Same, different. Watch this one. Steve, Shell, and Ray, same, different. Same, different. Isn't that a beautiful thing? To realize that we'd bring a little more peace in our world if we'd say that, wouldn't we? Same, but different. Look for the good, right? Oh, my goodness. Let's go to that affirmation. Oh, this has to do with your song. Look at that. I wrote this before I even knew you were going to sing that. My smile, let's say it together. My smile creates a light in this world, and that is how I make a difference. Try it again. And I hope to see a smile as you read it. My smile creates a light in this world, and that is how I make a difference. Namaste. Namaste. The star in me truly sees and honors that star in each and every single one of you. Namaste. Thank you.